Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm giving you a look at my desk setup and all of the products I have. It's a pretty awesome setup and I hope you enjoy the video. Also, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all the new subscribers, and I also just hit 150 subscribers. 150 subs is quite a small number, but in the scheme of things it's just another milestone, and I hope to hit 1,000 this year maybe, or even in the next few years. I want to try and make a video every 2 weeks or so, but it takes a lot of effort to get these videos out. Like, it takes about 5 to 10 hours per video because there's so much involved, like scripting and then filming all the little bits and pieces. Editing takes a while, so it takes a lot of effort to get these videos out, so I hope you appreciate the effort I put in, because at the end of the day I want to make it as high quality as possible. I don't want to make a bad video because I rushed it, you know? So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Just a side note, all of these items will have a link in the description below, and they're in New Zealand dollars and do not include shipping. Starting off with the peripherals, my keyboard is the Pro 2, and I love this thing to bits. It's a 60% mechanical keyboard with fully customizable RGB backlighting. It comes in at $117, which I personally think is a bargain when you put it up against competition. I personally think that Razer and Logitech are severely overrated and that the quality is not worth the heavy price, with the exception of some products like the mouse I will show you later. So when you compare this to $200 or $300 keyboards, it's absolutely fantastic. I'm a gamer myself, and so the small space it takes up is a huge bonus to me, as I don't really need arrow keys or a numpad, and I have more mouse space because of it. That is unless I want to skip 5 seconds on YouTube, which I can still do easily, with an awesome feature that is exclusive to the Pro 2. With this keyboard, you can tap the Shift, Control, Function 1 and 2 keys to act as arrow keys, and you can hold them down to act as the primary key. On other 60% keyboards like the Ducky 1-2 Mini, they don't have this great feature, so you're completely stuck without any kind of arrow keys. But this is a good compromise because you can still use the arrow keys, just not with 100% functionality. When purchasing this keyboard, you should have the choice between Gateron and Kale switches. I rock the Gateron Brown, as they actually feel very similar and actually better than the Cherry MX Brown switches in my opinion. The Pro 2 includes Bluetooth pairing, which I personally never use, but is again an awesome feature that you can add to its list. It comes in a white and black finish, and you can customize the RGB colors with the OpenSlab software that comes free with the keyboard. My mouse will be familiar with a lot of you, as it is the Logitech G502 Proteus Spectrum. I purchased this mouse because of how many programmable buttons there are. And there are 11 of them. You can bind each and every one of these with the Logitech software, and I do find the application to be pretty feeble and unnecessarily complicated, if I'm gonna be honest. The price of this mouse is exactly $100 from Parallel Imports New Zealand, and I'm sure that you can price match them at stores like PB Tech and JB Hi-Fi. This mouse also has RGB, which is a nice touch to an overall complete mouse. The weight is 121 grams, which is a bit on the heavy side compared to most gaming mice, but the number of bindable buttons on this thing definitely makes up for it, and I have a high sensitivity anyway, so it doesn't really affect me too badly. One more thing is that I purchased some super cheap mouse skates for it, which definitely improved the glide of the mouse, as I find the default mouse skates to be a little too grippy. I also have a cheap mouse bungee I purchased, which by the way is a good item, as I always hated my cable dragging on the mouse pad and my desk. I will leave a link to both of those items in the description below as well. Okay, so speaking of my mouse pad, I own the Playmax X3 Mouse Pad, which is one of my favorite purchases on this list. It is so nice not having to worry about mouse pad space, and for the price tag of $29, it is an awesome addition to my desk. It measures in at 1 meter by half a meter, and to be honest, I don't know who would need bigger than that. So moving on, the next product is the Kogan 27-inch 144Hz 1440p monitor. I already did a review of this monitor a month or so ago on my channel, so check that video out. It is currently on sale for $379, which is still an absolute bargain in terms of specs, and I've loved it since the day I bought it. No regrets at all.
Do you like it?
I recently played on a 60Hz screen when at a computer lounge, and I swear it was a slideshow. It's crazy how much I could notice 60 frames versus 144 frames per second. So if you're still playing on a 60Hz display and you're thinking of upgrading, this is a great investment. I have 2 monitors, and the second one is just an old AOC monitor of a friend, and I bought it off him on Mates Rates for 50 bucks, which was a great deal, so cheers Ruben for that, bro. I don't actually know the model name or number, but I just purchased it for the sake of having a second screen, as why not for 50 bucks. The next item is my HyperX Cloud headphones. I couldn't find a website or a place to purchase the first generation ones, which I own, but the closest I could get to is the second gen, which come at around $159 from Mighty Ape. I don't know exactly which features are better than the current ones I have, but I know they will have a few better features. One of the biggest things about this headset is comfort. These things are like cushions on my ears, and I don't ever get sore ears after hours of use. The sound quality is fantastic, and the build is also really sturdy. They are awesome headphones, and I would highly recommend them. I also have a microphone stand, which I honestly don't recommend, as when I set it up it didn't feel very good quality, and I had to glue it together a bit, but it works fine, and I got a bit of money back on it. I'll put the link for this below anyway if you want to check it out. The headphones also come with a mic, which I have unplugged as I have an external microphone, which I'll get right into now. My microphone is the blue Snowball. This USB connected microphone is the audio you are hearing right now. For the cost of 88 bucks, this thing is really good quality, and I use it for videos and for my gaming mic. I also use an application to play around with the bass and a couple of other settings to make sure it sounds more and more professional. Next on this list we have I don't know how to pronounce this honestly, I think it's Milberget or Milberget office chair from IKEA, which I absolutely love. Unfortunately for any Kiwis watching, we don't have IKEA here in NZ, which sucks, I know. I only got this as I was on holiday in Melbourne, and we bought extra shipping to get it home, as it was still cheaper to do that than to buy another brand here, to be honest. I kind of like gaming racer chairs, but man, this thing is way better, as I personally love the design, color, and it is super comfy. It supports my back really well, which is important when sitting at a desk for hours on end. I purchased the white colorway, which is really nice, and it has a leather texture which looks and feels rather authentic. It comes in white and it comes in black as well. This is 99 Australian dollars or about 105 New Zealand dollars, so it is 3 or 4 times cheaper than most of the gamer chairs you can buy. Luckily for anyone who lives in a country with IKEA, you can obviously get this chair with no problems. Third to last we have my RGB backlighting, which makes my desk look super cool. It costs 17 bucks for everything you need, including a 10-meter strip of lights with an adhesive backing, a power adapter, the controller, and the receiver. So everything you need is right in the box. I have mine on a multicolor fade setting, which I like the best, but at the end of the day, you do you. And second to last, we have my PC itself. This is the most underwhelming item on this list, as it is literally an old PC with an SSD and a low-profile NVIDIA GTX 1050 graphics card in it. At the time when I built this last year, I was on a very low budget, and I always intended this to be a temporary PC, and it is, as I'm planning to do a brand new PC build, which I can't wait for. I'll probably be doing a vlog buying the parts with a mate of mine, and then film the build itself as well, so keep your eyes out for that one, as I'll probably do that in the next month or so. At the end of the day though, this thing does the job, and I can run games pretty smoothly on 144 FPS, as long as I have stretched resolution, and I'm sure that on native res you could get 60 FPS no problem. This all up cost me around $600, $250 for the PC itself, $280 for the graphics card, and $70 for the SSD, which was pretty good value for money regarding how well the games run for me. And the final item on this list is the desk itself, which is less straightforward than you think. Basically, it only cost me $24 as I purchased the legs of the desk at IKEA in Australia, and then I connected the legs to a beautiful piece of matte black plywood from Plytech, which I cut into an L shape for a bit of a corner desk. I got this piece of ply from Playtech and they gave me a free offcut as it was partially dented and they couldn't sell it, so they gave it to me for free. But you can barely tell that those dents are there. I also know people who work at Playtech, so that was easier for me to get access to that. So it may be a little bit harder for you to get that. It looks really nice and has an awesome surface to it, and the sizing is perfect as well, as I obviously cut it to the exact sizing I wanted. I am sure that anyone watching this can find a way to either purchase a piece of ply or get some for free as well, but I found that this is much cheaper and more customizable than some expensive pre-built desk from the warehouse or something, which doesn't even look that nice anyway. So that was everything in my desk setup. Any questions or video suggestions, leave them below in the comments and I'll try to reply to everything you put down there. Also, keep checking back for new videos every couple of weeks and I'll try my best to keep good content coming. Press like if you haven't already and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and to support the channel. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.